This here today is a monumental video, people. I'm dropping my new A1 jump shot. Now, you know I have my OG jump shot, the always reliable. I have my A1, but this new shit right here, I guarantee you've never seen a jumper this nice. For the new people that haven't subscribed to the channel, now you should know I'm the greatest fucking jump shot creator in the game. I experiment so fucking much with these jump shots. I know what's wrong, what's good. It got simple for me. But for the last 3 months, I've been struggling. Now y'all looking at some clips of this jump shot. I've been struggling to find a release that was as good as my A1 release. When it was button delay and it was lagging, I just couldn't fucking do it. It was such a tall task. But I'm here telling you today that I fucking found the release. Now, I'm gonna talk about one release, which is my favorite, and I'm gonna talk about a variation that I'm forced to use sometimes depending on how the button delay gets. I'm going in detail the pros and cons, and you know, on such a monumental day, I had to be fucking with. This is a fucking Goose t-shirt right here, man. So I said on a monumental day, I need a monumental shirt. Oh my god. Let's hop into the jump shot creator and we'll talk about the first of the 2 jump shots. This shit right here is as magic as it looks, man. Base 65. Major shout out to my boy Witness, Breeze, man. Cause when I was playing with him a few months ago, he made mention of base 65. He said it was similar to High School 1, but I found that it blends easier than High School 1 with a lot of different releases. And so going back on what he said, he's probably the best fucking playmaker I ever played with. I said I gotta try this base out. Let me investigate. Now, if you guys remember, Curry, when the game initially dropped, was the best release in the game. They patched it, but now it's back. Listen, Curry on the release 1, which by the way is also the release 1 and release 2 for my A1 release. Now, if y'all want to see the other jump shots, I'll leave a playlist link in the description. You guys can go through. But when there's button delay, because that's what I've been dealing with, this is the jump shot. But when there's no button delay, I don't even know how to fucking explain how beautiful this jump shot is. Now, you know when I shoot, I never look at my shot meter. I'm always looking at my player. That's why I put Magic Johnson as the release 2. I made a video on that. The link's also in the playlist I link in the description. There is an easy cue. The Magic Johnson makes this release a 2-motion release, which is beautiful because if you switch it all the way to the left, it's a 1-motion shot now, and it becomes a lot more difficult to time when you're dealing with button delay. Without button delay, I probably could rock this without the Magic Johnson. But everybody experienced it on the park because it's always going to be more button delay in the park than there is in the Pro-Am, and so I found that this is probably the most Magic Johnson I've ever involved in any of my releases, but it works so fucking perfectly. The second you hit the top of your jumper, you release that bitch. As a left-handed shooter, in my opinion, it's easier to find the cue, which is part of the reason why I made left-handed shooters, because it's easier, in my opinion, than right-handed shooters to find a fucking cue. Alright, I'm gonna get deep into the fucking pros and cons. Now, easily the biggest fucking pro is the Limitless Range. I've never seen a release like this shoot from Limitless Range in my life, people. Now, if you ever said to you, I want Agent Range, this is the release for you. Now, it's not like you just close your eyes and it's gonna work for you. You still have to fucking try, of course, when you're shooting the jump shots. Try and find some consistency, some muscle memory, and just remind yourself of the cue in the jump shot when you're pulling up at all times. Now, if you can do that consistently, you're gonna be a deadly shooter. Now, fortunately for you, most people, when you're playing online, don't do that, and so you're gonna have a major advantage on them. Another good thing about this shit is the leaning shots. Now, you don't see it too much on the fucking MyPark, but on the regular park sliders, bro, this shit is beautiful on leaning shots. Now, those are the slow shots you pull up for when you didn't give yourself enough time to stabilize and pull up for a regular shot, and so your guy pulls up on some of that weird leaning slow shit. And sometimes with some releases, it's awful and you can't make any shots. But with this release, bro, don't even trip. As long as you get the cue on point, this just gonna be a fucking green light. Maybe the one problem with this release is it's not that quick. Now, once I have my 6'2" sharpshooter with the jump shot creator, I can have my very quick release. I have yet to test it on that, but I can tell it's gonna be fucking dominant. So I'm using quick release over here, and that's the one issue. Now, if you're looking for a super quick release, then this isn't it. But the thing about this release I like the most is how you can shoot through contests. You don't have to be so fucking quick if you can shoot through the same level of contest. Don't trip. If someone's closing you out and they're late on the contest, pull up anyway. As long as you get your cue down, that shit is banging, and that's a fucking rarity with releases. Only a few releases I know that can pull that, and this is easily the best of them, along with my, of course, my OG A1 release. Now, that's that base 49 release Curry shit. The major issue with this release, though, is when you're dealing with too much button delay. Like, if you notice it's more than usual type shit on the park, that this release loses its cue, and at that point, you're basically going off of muscle memory, which is fine for me because my Pro-Am release, I don't really have a cue for it. It's all off muscle memory. So as long as you can hit the same spot and you know when to release the ball, you're fine. That's the problem with this. Now, it works through latency, unlike my A1 release. Now, this is the new A1 release. I'm trying to distinguish the names. It works through latency, but when you you see an increased amount, or if you live far in like Germany or Australia and you're far away from some fucking servers and your shit is slow and there's button delay, this isn't gonna work for you because you're not gonna have the queue. Now, when you're in situations like that, you can no longer shoot from before the half court line on the park. It destroys your limitless range. At that point, you have to take a step above or shoot down the middle. You have two choices at that point. So it limits your limitless range when you don't have that queue, but it's still fucking deadly if you can time it. And so, of course, you know me, I can't do anything. The release has to be perfect for me, right? And so I found a workaround, and that's gonna be release number 2. Now, release number 2, I tried to find a variation of it. Now, I put base 65, same base, but this time I added Mclemore. It's the first time I've ever involved Mclemore in a serious release I'm uploading to YouTube. But I'm like, yo, how did I not know about this shit since time? Because Mclemore is a fucking beautiful release, depending on the base you're using, of course. But I wanted it to be a more fluid shot. Mclemore on its own was too clunky. I tried magic on the end of it, and there was no fluidity, and I felt like I knew for a fact there wasn't gonna be a queue. And so I put Curry as a release 2, and I timed it 80-20. Of course, it's a quick release. My player is 6'6". So this is my release 2. Now hold on now, because this release 2 is something special. Now there's a major trade-off to, of course, using the release 2, which is part of the reason why the release 1 I said was my favorite. When I'm talking about that increased button delay, and you're having trouble shooting the ball and finding a queue, and you're like, oh fuck, agent, you dropped a release and this shit is wavy. But sometimes on double XP weekend, or whenever they drop Park after dark, or sometimes the 2K servers are just tripping and you can't get that clean button delay. And when you have that issue, here y'all go, man. Here you go right here. This fucking Mclemore release is a green machine. The good thing about this release, it shoots even quicker than the one I just shown you guys. So if you're a guy that fiends some quick releases, here it is. It can't shoot as deadly from limitless range, but on the line, this shit is still fucking beautiful. One of the best releases I've used. Now, compared to the one I just shown y'all, nothing compares in terms of limitless range. Let's get that shit clear. But the reason this is a side piece is because there's one problem with this release that I can't fucking find a fix for it. I tried, is the leaning shots, y'all. It is a 100% miss from 3-point line on leaning shots. I'm not exaggerating because I've been playing with this for the last week and I have yet to make a leaning shot regardless of how good my release was. It's all white bars every single time and it's always a miss every fucking time. So that's the major con with this release. Now, when it's a lot of latency, when I put on this release, I just know for a fact I can't be pulling on some reckless shit because if I get caught in a leaning shot, I immediately have to kick it up. I just don't trust the release enough to do that because every fucking time I pull up, I'm missing. But it's a quicker release than the last one I showed you. It is a green machine if you're pulling regular threes. It has the same crazy level limitless range, not as much as the last one, but deadly. And you can be consistent as fuck with it. It's a beautiful release, and so y'all got the A1, the new A1, and you got a variation right here for you. I'm a little bit annoyed when there's too much button delay and I have to pull up with this release, but it makes, I feel content knowing that I'm not really downgrading when I pull up with this release. I don't feel like I'm being pegged down. I don't have the same limitless range, of course. As long as I'm avoiding leaning shots, I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage just because there's button delay anymore, and that's something I haven't felt since it fucking started acting up with the servers in December. Now, this release is gonna be something special. If you have a player under 6'4" and you can get the very quick release, you have to tell me because I've yet to investigate with that. So far I got it on quick, but I could tell this shit is gonna be deadly as fuck on very quick. High key, I can't fucking wait to see it happen. I haven't tested these releases on Pro-Am, but I guarantee you my Magic Johnson releases aren't gonna be the move on Pro-Am. I have a separate Pro-Am release I use, and to be honest, I don't need to investigate more on Pro-Am because I got a fucking Pro-Am release. In my opinion, it's the best Pro-Am release in the game, so I don't really need to investigate that shit no more. This is specifically Park. I haven't tried it on there. You guys can test it out if you want to. Alright, man. Y'all got the jumpers, man. I can't wait to try this shit with the new sharpshooter, but it's been deadly. You don't need to watch a jump shot video anymore after this. It's after patch 12. They're not patching jump shots. Here you fucking go. If you don't get it at first, give it at least 1-2 hours. Try and learn a cue that you can stick with because for any jump shot, you're gonna have to learn it. Now, if you can't be consistent with this jump shot, and you can't be consistent with my old A1 jump shot or my OG jump shot, then you're fucking up. Because I'm able to do it, And a lot of people watching the video are able to do it. So at that point, you just have to find some consistency. And sometimes it requires focus until you develop muscle memory. It's not like a breeze. You're not gonna be on here like, oh, I don't have to try it all. No, but it makes life easier. When you got a good jump shot, it makes your life in park so much fucking easier. Now I'm a YouTuber, so I can spend pretty much my entire day trying to find some shit like this because I can drop a video on it. But for the people that can't, here you go. Beautiful jump shot. Of course, you need the jump shot creator to do it. If you don't have the jump shot creator, you're at a massive disadvantage. You should know that. And I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. If you enjoy it, drop a like. Man, let's try and get this video to 8K likes. I know we can do that. I want y'all to experiment. Leave a comment. Let me know how this release did for you. And I've been fucking a goose for a while, but I'm back, y'all. I'm back shooting deadlier than ever. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.